It's the Raw Meat Podcast, the most mediocre wrestling podcast on the internet. With the smart Greg Adams, the nature boy Jay Watley, and the hardcore icon Puff.
It's Greg Adams, and we get the privilege of hanging out today for a little bit with the Irish last kicker. Don't mind if I mark out a little bit, but we have Becky Lynch on the phone. Good morning, Becky.
Good morning. The privilege is all mine.
What I want to start talking about is what probably was quite an emotional week for you. Your friend and mentor, Finn Balor, had highs and lows this week. He becomes the first ever Universal Champion in WWE. And in the same 24-hour period, is revealed to be injured, loses the championship. First of all, have you gotten a chance to speak to him post-surgery, and how's he doing?
I actually haven't. I texted him to see if he's doing okay. I haven't heard back, so I assume he is. But I'm sure he's getting a lot of texts at the moment. And with any sort of injury, it's always going to be hard. But he's so tough now mentally. He's one of the toughest mentally tough people. That's the way to say it. That I know.
We saw a little bit of that when he came out, and he was smiling as he relinquished the belt. Like, he knows he's coming back. As far as you go, what was more emotional for you, seeing him win that championship after everything you know he's gone through, or seeing him have to give it up?
I think maybe seeing him have to give it up. But with Finn, I don't have any worries. You know what I mean? He's so great, and he's so good, and he's a cat, and he's going to come back, and it's going to be even better than before. So I know it's going to be a loss for him, but I know that he's going to come back stronger than ever, and I know he's going to wow everybody more than ever, because that's what he does, and every single obstacle and peak and valley just makes him stronger and makes him a better character, and I think he's going to come back with even more spectacle, and because he has that entrance and everything like that. I think he's going to take the time, and he's going to really he's going to create a package like we have never seen, because and that's what Finn always does. He brings us something that we've never seen before. So with all this time to think and get creative, he's going to bring something amazing. And when you look at it, you say, like he won the first ever Universal title and then relinquished it. But he won the first ever Universal title with a torn labrum in the shoulder. That is incredibly impressive. And you just have to admire that toughness. That he was able to go through the match and still win. And unfortunately, he's going to have to give it up. But I think he's going to come back and be tougher than ever.
You've got me convinced I'm not worried about him anymore. Let's talk about you, because you have been an integral part of the women's revolution, the women's wrestling revolution. You have been right there carrying the banner from the beginning, with now 2 women's titles. Just on an overview, what does it mean for women's wrestling to be in a position now which is so vastly different from 10 years ago, 15 years ago, even as little as 18 months ago?
Yeah, one, it's an honor, but 2, it's kind of, I've got mixed feelings about it, right? Because on one end, I'm like, yes, we did it, and blah, 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 blah. But on the other end, I'm like, well, yeah, of course we would. Of course we did. We love wrestling. You know what I mean? And we love this business, and we want to work hard, and we want to make this a thing to watch. That should always be the ambition, That should always be what we're aiming to do. Everybody should always be aiming to try and steal the show and be the best match out there and be the most engaging star and be the most relatable, or and give the crowd something where they feel something, And I think that for me is what this revolution, if you want to call it that, is about. It's just about having stories and just being athletic and getting our stuff out there, and getting the crowd emotionally involved so that they can't miss it. And to be one of the people that I guess, is associated with that is an incredible accomplishment and what I've ever always wanted to do when I came in here. The one thing that I wanted to do was change the name of it from Divas to Women. Divas was, it was a great brand, but it was something that I myself could never identify with, just because that's not how I view myself. So to have that now and to have now 2 women's championships, it's unreal.
Don't sell yourself short. You're not just a part of this. You are one of the leaders in this, and that was proven this year in front of over 100,000 streaming people at WrestleMania. Speak for just a second on what that moment was like for you.
So, going into that, right, I cried a little bit beforehand, right, but I was so strangely calm that I was like, there's something wrong here. And I wonder if I was so nervous that my body just made me think that I was super calm, because otherwise I would just freak out. I don't know. But yeah, I remember going in, being super calm and being like, well, yeah, this is what we've worked for. This is what we've wanted, and this is how it should be. This is the vision, this right here, and we're going to go steal the show. And that was just my entire focus. We're going to steal the show. This is what I want to do. This is the goal. This is what it's always been. Let's go steal the show. And then that culminated with the introduction of the women's championship. It was beyond a dream come true. But and you can watch this. It's all documented on the WWE 24 on the WWE network, which you can get for the low price of $9.99. She plugged in there. But yeah, so it's all seen there. And afterwards, I was just like, I just couldn't believe it. And that's when all like the emotion hit me, because before there was no time to get emotional about it. I just had to go out there and do a job. And my job was to attempt to steal the show.
Coming up in just a few months, WWE 2K17 is about to premiere, and making her video game debut is going to be Becky Lynch. How much do you plan to play this already?
Yep, I've got me games consoles already out and sorted. I can't wait. That was one of my life goals. Well, there's been a few life goals accomplished this year. One was WrestleMania. One was have an action figure, and the other one was be a playable video game character.
I cannot wait.
It's also be a champion, so hopefully that will get accomplished too.
Hey, we're a couple weeks out from that. I got a little feeling on that one. One of the things that you touched on a little bit already is that you didn't ever really fit that Divas mold. And part of that is you throw the horns up, you headbang. Where does that come from? Do you have some rock in you?
Oh, 100%. I'm more of a classic rock kind of person, actually, though. Well, that and a bit of punk as well. So Pearl Jam, my favorite band of all time, just went to see them. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. They played for 3 hours. Eddie Vedder is just unbelievable. All his lyrics and everything have always. I know it was a bit of a surreal moment again, because I was there, having listened to him my whole life and like wanting to get to where I am now, and like all these different little heartbreaks and ups and downs and everything, and struggles and Pearl Jam has been the soundtrack to my life. And then to be there, right there in Fenway, in Boston, just listening to Eddie Vedder play and just thinking of the year that's been in it and the few years that have been in it, just surreal. And then I also went to see the Dropkick Murphys not too long ago. They were also amazing. Rise Against would be another one of my favourite bands. And then I'm just like old school, like Led Zeppelin, Death Row Soul, The Who, Bob Dylan, Pink Floyd, what have you.
A live event is very different for us from a TV show, but for you, I'm sure it's even more different. What is your favorite part as an actual wrestling fan who gets to do this every day? What's your favorite part of the live show?
It's a different energy. Just being in that crowd is just, anytime you come to see a WWE live event, like, it's the most fun you'd ever have. I was actually sitting out in the crowd at NXT last week, and I was just in my element. It's uncomparable. It's apples and oranges, because watching it on TV is amazing. But when you can get to a live event, it's just on a whole other level.
Ladies and gentlemen, she is the Irish Lass Kicker. She is my favorite women's wrestler. I'm marking out still. Becky Lynch on the line. Becky, thank you so much. Can't wait to see you in Texarkana.
I can't wait to be there. Hey, it's Becky Lynch, and you're listening to the Raw Meat Podcast.